Game Kings, the definition of game, documentary, coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy, the dating game. What's good? So, I really hate to have to do videos like this, but it has to happen because what I notice sometimes is when you explain the game, some people misinterpret it. You feel what I'm saying? So the other day, I put out a video with me and Miles titled, Why You Can't Get Mad at Women, and how Miles breaks down the real meaning of being thirsty, right? And so, a lot of people was commenting on it, but there was this one comment that caught my eye, and I was just like, what? Like, it's just so funny sometimes because, like, things are said, and you're like, how did they get that out of this? You feel what I'm saying? But it's all good because I understand sometimes people misinterpret shit. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this comment. And basically in the video that he's commenting on, we were basically talking about how, you got to understand that women are going to be how they are. They're going to be emotional. They're going to be all over the place. So, you just you can't really get mad at them. Meaning like, you just got to accept the fact that you're dealing with chicks. You feel what I'm saying? And so there's a point in there where Miles was talking about, some of y'all guys just need to pay for the pussy, right? And I think this guy, his name is Roll Tide, the guy who wrote the comment, I think he missed the point. So I'm going to go through his comment. It's a little bit long, but I'm going to go through it. And then I'm going to break down what's going on here and what guys need to understand when it comes to dealing with women in the game, right? So he says in his comment, he says, how you going to make a video about why you can't get mad at women, and then in the same video have a guy like Miles say, see, I can't deal with women as much as Locario because I don't have the type of tolerance level he does. So Miles is basically saying he does too still get mad at women for doing what they do, even if he understands them. And this is the same issue most men have with them as well. We can't tolerate their bullshit either, but this isn't new shit. We know they pull all types of bullshit. You have to tolerate, which is why we're pissed off at a lot of them in the first place. I do appreciate Miles being one of the few semi-dating coaches to hop on the just pay them for pussy if they make you that mad train, because Locario absolutely refuses to admit that sometimes you just kind of got to do that to get pussy without any of the bullshit attached to it. Now, I understand Locario has his whole you don't get women's best sex when you pay them rebuttal that he likes to throw around, but that's neither here nor there since it ignores the very issues that Miles and the rest of us are trying to solve. Let's be real here, guys. You can't deal with women in general outside of paying them and not go through some type of bullshit. And I'm not just talking about how it's important to just deal specifically with high interest women who pull less bullshit than one girl or another. I'm talking about women in general, since guys still got to approach where there's bullshit there. Still got to go through miscellaneous shit with women who are dealing with miscellaneous issues such as the one Locario brought up in this very video. And so on, just to even find the high interest women. Locario tells you himself that high interest women are hard to find, which means you have to go through a lot of bullshit inevitably just to find them, which a lot of guys aren't willing to do for obvious reasons. I mean, why do you think guys wait on the choosing signals and shit for? Hoping they can easily get to those high interest women without having to go through all the bullshit. A lot of dudes' tolerance levels of bullshit won't allow them to deal with going through a lot of women. So you have to be accommodating to those guys as well and give them some real shit or some game for their situation. So thanks to Miles for doing that, at least in this video. By the way, this isn't any sort of hate rant or hate speech or any of the sort. Not at all. Quite the contrary. I do remember Locario saying before, just don't deal with women if you can't handle their issues. But I'm just pointing out that Miles had a better solution and a more accommodating perspective on it than the one Locario originally had, which I'm sure a lot of us will surely like. Miles says, just pay them for pussy if you can't deal with them. And Lord knows we all want the pussy. Yes, this is an absolute fact, but how do we get it without all the extra bullshit? Do what Miles said in his video. That brother understands and gets it. And I would love for him to give a whole lot more perspective, advice, and solutions to guys who just simply don't have the tolerance level to deal with women in general. All right, man. I gotta go in. I got to go in, people. I got to go in. Okay. Now, what's happening in this comment, right? And this happens with a lot of guys. What's happening is he's looking for justification for his situation, meaning he wants to go out and pay for pussy because he's frustrated dealing with women. This guy who wrote the comment, right? Because what happened is that he totally missed the entire point of the video. Now let's start at the beginning of his comment. He said, you know, how you going to make a video about why you can't get mad at women, and then in the same video have a guy like Miles say, see, I can't deal with women as much as Lucario because I don't have the type of tolerance level he does. And then he says, so Miles is basically saying he does too still get mad at women for doing what they do, even though he understands him. That is not what he's saying. You understand what I'm saying? Miles is not saying he's getting mad at women. All Miles is saying is that he has a lower tolerance level of dealing with women than I do. So what that means is that when he interacts with a woman, right, if she does something or says something or whatever, he's just going to be like, all right, I'm going to charge it to the game because I'm not really trying to fuck with that. That has nothing to do with him being mad at the chick. He's not mad at the girl. He's just like, well, I'm not going to fuck with her. You feel what I'm saying? And that's it. So that's the point of what we're saying. That's the point of the whole video when we say you can't get mad at women. What we're saying is it's stupid and it makes no sense, and you're taking a bunch of time and energy to get mad at chicks when you should understand that women are going to be women. Period. You understand? That's what we're saying in the video. You understand? So you're interpreting him saying he has a low tolerance for dealing with certain things as him being mad at them. See, there's a difference between a guy trying to get with a chick, and let's say she flakes, or let's say she says something stupid or does something stupid, and he's like, you know what? I'm good on this chick. I'm going to just delete her number and keep it moving. You understand? It's one thing for a guy to do that, and it's another thing for a chick to do something or say something and flake, and then he's like, man, fuck these fucking bitches, these bitch-ass bitches. You understand? And he has that energy and that attitude towards women. You see what I'm saying? It's two different things. So what we're saying is that women are going to do what they do, right? But what we're saying is that you should not waste your time and energy being mad at them when you understand that that's how they're going to be, right? Now, the other point of the comment that you're making, you're saying that, you know, Miles is saying, oh, well, just pay for the pussy because you don't have to deal with the bullshit, and that's going to make it easier. And you're like, yes, somebody's finally, you know, saying this thing to make me feel better about not having to deal with women, right? Now, there's a few things I want to say about that. One is that you have to understand context. Because in the video, again, you got to look at the actual video and the point of the video. In the video, we were talking about, right before he even said that, like literally right before he even said that, we were talking about Elliot Rodger. And we were saying that Elliot Rodger was not ready to fuck with a chick. You understand? Because he was mad that he couldn't get girls and he was all upset or whatever. But what we're saying was he was not ready to deal with the woman. Why? Because dealing with a woman means that you're going to have to interact with this chick and there are going to be problems. And I'm going to talk about that, you know, later in this video. So that means that you're going to have to be able to tolerate women when you're interacting with them. So what we're saying is Elliot Rodger wasn't in a place to be able to tolerate chicks because he hasn't really experienced them. So he's upset because he can't get girls. But he's never been in the situation to experience women, to be ready to deal with a woman if he was going to get one. So when Miles was saying in that context, look, some of y'all are just going to have to pay for some pussy. What he's saying is that because some of y'all don't have experience with women, y'all going to have to pay to even get to experience a woman, so that when you actually are dealing with women just in general or in the future, you have experience being around women so that you know how to deal with women. It's like when someone says, you know, like someone wants to work at a company or whatever, like back in the day where, you know, you have a lot of artists or whoever that wanted to get a record deal, and then some of them will be like, oh, let me go get an internship at this record company so that I can be around the environment of the record company so I can learn how to deal with being in that environment. So that's what he was saying when he was talking about some of y'all just going to have to pay for it because some of y'all need to be around women. You understand what I'm saying? That's basically what he was saying in that video. You understand? That's the context in which he was talking about it. You see what I mean? He wasn't saying it to say, well, you know what? If you go and pay for pussy, that's going to alleviate all the problems that you're going to have dealing with women. And see, that's the next thing that I got to really, drive home in this video. And this is the point of this video that I'm even responding to this. Is that guys think, see, this is the crazy part. Guys think, or they want to believe, that they're going to be able to get women, you know, interact with women on a consistent basis, get hot chicks, deal with women, and not have to deal with the problems and challenges of fucking with women. You understand? Anytime you deal with women, you are going to also deal with the challenges that come with dealing with women. Period. You cannot escape that. Even if you're trying to pay for pussy, do you realize that paying for pussy, unless you're, let's say, in a specific country where it's legal, you feel what I'm saying? And even then, but paying for pussy is not as easy as guys would like to think it is. You understand? Because one, the chick you're paying still needs to want to fuck you. Just because you're paying a chick for pussy, that don't mean she's gonna accept. That's one. There was a video, damn, I think they took this down, but there was a viral video that went around where this dude was trying to get, like, you know, prostitutes off Craigslist and all this other stuff. And because he was a black guy, you understand? They don't want to fuck with him. You feel what I mean? So he's fucking playing the numbers game, just trying to pay for pussy. You understand what I'm saying? So even when you're trying to pay for pussy, you still got to put in energy and work to even get that going. You still have to deal with the challenges of that in certain situations to even set that up in certain situations. So it's not even just this thing where it's, oh, you know, I can just go and do it like I'm buying a bag of chips at a store. No, you still got to go through some shit, sometimes even paying for pussy. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But what I want to say is this, and this is something that you guys have to really, really understand and really get in your head, right? See, the reason why, even in that video, because he was saying that in the video, I was talking about some situations where I was dealing with these chicks and I was dealing with some goofy ass shit, right? Now, the reason why I even mentioned that is because I want to show you guys that this is the reality of dealing with women. You're going to encounter goofy shit. What you want to do is you want to be able to minimize that stupid shit. And you also want to be in a situation where your game is so on point that all of that nonsense that you're going to come across is minimal. So for every story that I'm talking about where I was dealing with a chick that was annoying and on some dumb shit, right? I have 10 times more stories of dealing with women when shit was going awesome. You know what I'm saying? But that happens when you step up your game. The more your game is stepped up, the more interactions that you're going to have that are going to be on point, right? Now, when it comes to dealing with women, right, you have to understand that you are always going to come across some bullshit. You understand? You're always going to come across some bullshit. Like, you're never going to have a situation where, every interaction you're dealing with is going to run smoothly. You're never going to have a situation where you can get favorable outcomes without having to go through some type of bullshit. It's just not going to happen. So what you're saying, even in your comment, you're basically saying, like, is there ways that you can get shit happening? You said, how do we get it without all the extra bullshit? You can't. You can't. Let me tell you guys something right fucking now. You cannot get with women without having to deal with bullshit. I'm going to say that again. You cannot get with women without having to deal with bullshit. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. You cannot get with women without having to deal with bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, whatever, is considered bullshit to you, you understand? Because people may have a higher or lower tolerance to certain things, but you're going to go through some bullshit. But guess what? That's life. That's with anything you're doing. So there's no way you're going to actually get the benefits of dealing with women without having to go through the bullshit. It's not going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. Ain't no way in hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you guys this, but it ain't going to happen. This is why when I came out with that video the other day where I was talking about, dudes complaining about chicks, I'm like, nigga, if you going to complain, just shut the fuck up and stop fucking with chicks. It's that simple. Like actually stop doing it, because there's no way for you to do it without having to deal with bullshit. There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. See, like, yo, shout out to my dude Eddie Fuse. If y'all listen to my dude Eddie Fuse, he did a live stream the other day. He was talking about how he was dealing with some chick who, because he's in Bali right now, he's dealing with some chick who, like, jumped in his swimming pool while he was sleeping, and then he was telling the chick, like, yo, get out of here or whatever. And then he said he was in his place with another chick, a badass chick that he was trying to, like, mess with for the day or whatever. And it was going back and forth for a while. So he was like, look, I finally was about to get it in with this other chick. And then the chick who was jumping in my swimming pool walks into my house and interrupts me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he got to deal with all that shit. But this is what happens when you deal with women. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to have to deal with a bunch of goofy shit sometimes. Right? See, look, let's say, for example, I'll give it to you like this for an example. When you're working out, right? You saying you don't want to have to deal with bullshit with women and still get women is the equivalent of saying, I want to work out and lift weights, but I don't want to have to feel the burn. I don't want to have to feel the burn of the when I'm doing the bench press and I'm curling the fucking weights. I don't want to have to feel that shit on my biceps. I want my biceps to grow, and I don't want to have to sweat. I don't want to have to fucking deal with how hard it is to work out. I don't want to have to deal with none of that shit. I just want to be able to do it, not feel all that shit, but still be fit. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to have to deal with eating good. I just want that shit to go down. That's what you sound like when you say, I don't want, us guys, we don't want to have to deal with their bullshit. I'm sorry, nigga. That's part of the deal. It's like the equivalent of saying, listen, I want to run a successful business, but you know what? I don't want to have to deal with, cash flow. I don't want to have to deal with, working long hours. I don't want to have to deal with, customers and all this stuff. Is there a way that I can make millions of dollars and get the benefits of having a successful company without having to deal with all the bullshit that goes along with it? No, you cannot. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on with you guys? Listen, if you're dealing with women, you have to deal with the bullshit that comes along with dealing with women. You can't have one without the other. You can't have it. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? It's impossible. Period. You understand? You want a girlfriend, you think you're going to have a girlfriend without having to deal with the bullshit? You understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all might want to get married, have kids. You want to do all that without having to deal with the bullshit? What? What planet are you living on? Because on planet Earth, let me tell you something. See, the reason why you have to deal with it is because that woman you're dealing with, right? That's part of her makeup. That's how she is. You understand? Women are fickle. Women are driven by their emotions. Women are going to respond certain ways to certain things. This is why game is important. Because the game teaches you how to deal with that, how to navigate through that, and how to get what you want through doing that. You see what I'm saying? Because, see, in this email or this comment, you're saying, let's be real, guys don't want to have to go through the bullshit, and guys don't want to have to deal with all. Listen, you're going to have to deal with some shit. Like, I want to know. Like, I want to know what and how and where and when and why, how you going to make this happen without having to deal with the bullshit. For example, because you even talked about choosing signals. I'm glad you brought that up, because you said, do you think guys wait on choose? He said, why do you think guys wait on choosing signal shit for? Hoping they can more easily get those high interest women without having to go through the bullshit. Oh my God. This is why, listen, man. This is why dudes got to know the game. You think that having the choosing signals, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because this is why dudes wait for that choosing signal shit. They think that alleviates them from having to deal with the bullshit. Nobody, buddy, I'm sorry to tell you. Let's say, for example, you at a bar at a club, this chick's checking you out heavy, she's throwing them choosing signals at you, right? Then you go and approach her, you start talking to her, right? Now, you flirting with her, she flirting back a little bit, but now she's playing games. Now you're trying to take her out the spot, she being a little resistant. You understand what I'm saying? So then now you finally get her out the spot. You try to take her back to your place, and then, she's over there, y'all kissing a little bit, but now she's being a little bit more resistant. She ain't trying to fuck you. But what happened to it being easier because you got the choosing signals, huh? Right? Oh, wait a second. You going through bullshit now, right? You going through the bullshit of her resisting, right? You going through the bullshit of her not wanting to fuck you now that she at your house, right? Oh, but you thought that there was a way to escape the bullshit. Listen, you can't escape this. It don't matter if the chick throwing you choosing signals. It don't matter if you cold approaching. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have to go through some shit. That's part of the game. See, the hard part about this is, and this is what we were talking about in the video, where me and Miles was talking about how fucking with the chicks is not about just fucking with the chicks. It's about you learning how to deal with shit in life. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's about you learning how to deal with shit. Unfortunately, we got a lot of dudes out here, you understand, that, I hate to say it, that just like, they're not like strong enough to withstand shit to make shit happen. You understand what I'm saying? So when Miles is talking about, listen, I'm not sitting there, I'm not trying to tolerate no bullshit. See, you got to be strong enough to do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't tolerate certain bullshit, right? Now, mine and his tolerance is a little bit different, but we both don't tolerate no bullshit when it comes to chicks, right? But at the same time, we understand that there is going to be bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? we understand that there is going to be bullshit. And we don't hate the chick because she's doing bullshit. Why? Because she's going to do bullshit. That's part of it. Because what we are experiencing when we're dealing with the woman is her nature. See, you guys got to understand that if we flip this around, women are also dealing with our bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Because from their perspective, what we want and what we trying to do in certain situations, to them, is a bunch of bullshit sometimes. Because for what they want, for what their agenda is, it may not be a smooth transition for them. A woman may be like, damn, I just want this guy to like stay with me and kind of take care of me and do all this other shit, but he just out here, wanting to fuck and a bunch of chicks and fuck around. So now she got to deal with that bullshit until she could find a guy who is going to be on that same page with her. Same thing for you guys. You're going to deal with that bullshit until you find a woman who's going to be on that same page with you. This is why I talk about the high interest women. See, you have to be able to put in that work to find that high interest woman. Period. See, what I find funny is this. What a lot of guys don't understand is this, is that they want to be able to get the most shit popping off by putting in the least amount of work. You understand? But see, this is the funny part though. In order for you to get to the point where you can put in the least amount of work, you have to put in the most amount of work now. I hope y'all caught that. For you to get to the point where you put in the least amount of work, you have to put in the most amount of work now. So you can't expect to get the least amount of work now when you haven't put in any work yet. For example, if you have a business, right? Let's say you run a business. And let's say your business is flourishing, you know, to the point where you're making thousands upon thousands of dollars a month. You understand what I'm saying? And in order for you to make that thousands upon thousands of dollars a month, let's say all you need to do is work maybe like 3 hours a week. You understand? And there's people who have their businesses set up like that where they only need to work maybe 3-4 hours a week if they want, and they can make thousands of dollars a month. Like they probably work more just because they like doing it, but they only actually need to work 3 hours a month. 3 hours a week or whatever, if they want to make thousands of dollars, right? Now, their business is set up like that. But guess what? In order for them to have gotten to the point where they only need to work 3 hours a week to make thousands of dollars a month, they probably had to work years like crazy to get to the point where they built the business and built the customer base and built the infrastructure for them to have the option to work only 3 hours a week to keep making that thousands of dollars a month. You see what I'm saying? They've built it to that point. You understand? For example, it's like another example. Let's say you got a guy who, you know, he's an actor or some shit or whatever, right? And they're like, hey, we want to give you this role, but, you know, we gotta have you looking in a certain amount of shape at a certain amount of time, right? Let's say this guy's been busting his ass in the gym for like a year or two, right? To where he's gotten in shape, right? And then they say, listen, we got this movie role and we need you to be in this amount of shape in like 3 months or 2 months, right? So now, because he's been busting his ass in the gym for 2 years, he's basically kind of in shape already. So that means he says to himself, you know, I could probably go to the gym maybe, I don't know, 3 days a week, right? And still get in shape within 3 months for this movie role, right? But the reason why he can do that and only go 2, maybe 3 days a week is because he's been busting his ass for 2 years. So now he don't have to do as much now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Versus if he never went to the gym and they're like, damn, you got to get in shape in 3 months. This nigga gonna have to work crazy hard now. But he don't got to do that because he's already been doing it. And then he's at the point where he doesn't need to do as much. See, a lot of you guys in the game, unfortunately, what happens is you want to be able to get high quality, high interest women just off the bat, just for whatever, right? And you're like, damn, well, I don't want to have to deal with this bullshit, and it's, it's so hard, and this chick and that chick, whatever. But y'all motherfuckers don't want to actually work on your game. You don't want to step up your shit. You don't want to put yourself in position so that you actually get to the point where you don't have to work as hard. For example, if a guy's out there like, damn, I don't want to have to cold approach and I got to approach 100 women to get one girl. I got to approach 300 women to get one girl. You know why you got to approach 300 women to get one girl? Because you haven't been working on your fucking game. See, a guy who's been working on his game, he's like, okay, well, back in the day, I had to approach 100 women to get one chick. Now, if I approach 100 women, I can get 20. And then he works more on his shit, and out of 100, he gets 40. You feel what I'm saying? So what happens is that as he gets better, he doesn't have to do as much work. You understand what I'm saying? But what happened is that he had to do a lot of work first to get to that point. You understand? I talked about this on one of my live streams where I was saying that you work hard first and then you can work smart because you've gotten to that point where you can do that. You see what I'm saying? But what guys do is they sit there and they complain and they're like, oh, these chicks are like this and these chicks are like that. Guess what? I'm on the same planet as you with the same chicks who's doing the same bullshit. But our results are different. Why? Why? You understand what I'm saying? Why? See, the reason why is because I understand that it's going to be bullshit and I accept that it's going to be bullshit. And I'm not sitting there getting mad at the chick for being a fucking chick. You understand what I'm saying? And then I just do what I need to do to get where I need to go and make the shit happen. And that's it. But listen, man, I'm just almost like a damn half an hour already. So, but listen, all I'm trying to tell you guys is this, man. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that you have to understand that dealing with women means you're going to have to deal with the bullshit. Period. And if you don't feel like dealing with the bullshit, then I don't know what to tell you. Go MGTOW, whatever. I'm done. Now, before you go, make sure you click the link below to get your free copy of the audio program, Undeniable Game. This program is going to teach you 7 easy-to-follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. In this audio program, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to become that confident man women are attracted to. You'll also learn what you must do to become better at approaching and talking to women. You'll learn why women don't return your calls and what to do to increase the chances of women returning your calls. You'll also learn the only time you should call or text a woman. You'll learn how to start conversations with women. You'll learn the mindset you must have to be successful with women. You'll also learn the main thing you need to do to figure out if a woman is really interested in you, and much more. So make sure you click the link below to get your copy today.